Hey guys, Dark Humility here with another closed beta Season 11 Prosperity mini guide and demo. I am proud to announce that the power of Strafe is real in this new season. It is absolutely no joke, but neither, of course, is multi-shot to be slept in. But for this video, we're going to actually show off Strafe. And we're also going to retest normal bows as opposed to crossbows, as they just did a final buff to them. And so I'm actually going to do a test while we do the demo. But of course, first we'll go over the stats, the skills, the mercenary, and the gear, so you guys can see how to build one of these monsters. And then of course we'll do the demos and tests. So we're actually going to test wind force on Strafe. And Strafe, wind force would never ordinarily win on Strafe. But it does look like from the damage numbers initially, at least, that it's actually a lot closer. It looks like you're getting maybe a bit more damage off of the crossbow, but wind force is a lot faster of a weapon. So interestingly enough, that final buff may push things over the edge and make something like wind force a lot stronger than Barizza for the first time in a long time. But at any rate, we do have sufficient IS. Okay, so yes, we are good to go. Alright, chat, let's take a look at this awesome character. Remember, the new season starts the 16th, May 16th, 10 a.m. PT, and of course they plan to launch my tier list and infographic, the sacred tablets, as some have referred to them as, straight from the Mad Lab. We will get it to you for sure, 13th or 14th. 13th or 14th, and no problem. And right when the open beta around like the final patch drops, shortly after it, we will get that stuff to you. Alright, but of course, let's show you guys just how awesome Strafe is with fixed desync and with fixed damage. So they finally fixed the damage and they fixed the desync, and man, can you feel it. It is incredible this season, so that is why we're going to highlight Strafe Amazon. It's also one of my favorite builds. Definitely something I don't mind going if I found the gear on my hardcore solo self-fan, which I plan on doing for season 11. Alright, anyway. Let's go over the stats. So enough strength to wear the gear. The rest goes into dex for damage. That's what you do. Unless you're on hardcore, then you might want to put some into life. Res, get as much as you possibly can. Need life and mana leech, at least a little bit of each, but you do so much damage that you don't need like a crazy amount. PDR would also be good on hardcore. You could use something other than fortitude like shaft stop to achieve that. And faster run walk is also very big on map speed on an Amazon in general, so definitely make sure to prioritize that stat. You're also going to want enough attack speed to reach max frame, which I do with the Mercenary, which is really good. And then FHR is kind of good, but it's not super important. You do have the skills dodge and evade, so those do help out quite a bit with these Zon's general getting hit and survivability issues. And that's pretty much it. You don't really need Deadly Strike because you have such a huge amount of crit strike, and the crit strike functions like Deadly Strike. So mostly just need a lot of damage in general. You can of course push it over the edge with more Deadly Strike if you want, but not super important on an Amazon. Interestingly enough, Strafe does a lot of damage and has a synergy, so plus skills are decent, but max damage duels particularly are really effective, particularly on wind force that has such a low minimum and such an insanely high maximum. Now, I bet you guys haven't seen a wind force of 947 max damage before. Like I said, they buffed all elite bows all elite bows, not crossbows though. So I think they're trying to make the bow characters in general a lot stronger, but they're also trying to not necessarily make it completely overshadow. I don't think they want Bariza to win in every situation. But to be fair on multi-shot, I would actually claim that on multi-shot, Wind Force would win anyway, though it is close. And considering how much easier it is to find Bariza than a Wind Force, I could see why people might have issues with that. And it's been like that since last season, so this season they're doing something about it. Anyway, so we got some good stuff going on here though, just in general. So we've got another thing to note is that even with Strafe or multi-shot, doesn't really matter either one. Strafe is usually used though on passive hybrid builds. We do have loyalty, which could be made in a crossbow or a normal bow. And of course I made it in a crossbow before this patch because crossbows win on Strafe. But you'll notice with 60 faster cast rate, it's really good for casting decoys. Whereas if you're using Valkyries, you would go Ebonbane. So if you do want to do a hybrid approach, that is how you would do it, and that's what I recommend. So I'm just going to throw that out there before we go any further. But yeah, there's the stats though, basically. So skills, max crit strike, max penetrate. Penetrate also has physical pierce this season. Lots of big buffs, mainly to Boson. Now, to be fair, there's also some buffs for Fend and Jab as well, considering that there's Penetrate, but they're not quite as impacted, particularly because Fend didn't end up getting improved frames. But Jab and Fend are better as well with that. But the physical bow skills definitely are a lot better with that. It's free 10 pierce. It's like what you used to get on a crossbow. They also nerfed the crossbows down to 5, so they're really trying to make sure crossbows don't totally overtake the bows, particularly something as easy to acquire as a Wind Force. I mean, crafted bows can be quite a bit stronger, but I'm sure you guys get the idea. Anyway, we want maximum faster movement speed, max penetrate, max crit strike, enough pierce to reach 100% pierce. This build's a little scuffed. It's at 99, but 99 should be good enough. It's pretty much the same thing. And then with Strafe, max that out. Penetrate, oddly enough, is already a synergy for that, so that's nice. And then you could dump any remaining points into dodge. Now you could also go Valkyries. You could go Giant Skull for the helm to get more of your pierce, so you could put points elsewhere like Valkyries or more points into dodge. There are definitely some ways to do this. They nerfed the pierce skill, so you are going to need more investment into pierce either through items or through the skill itself this season, so do keep that in mind. So there's a lot of changes to Boson this season, so I feel like remaking a video here is pretty important. Also, it just is fucking awesome, so definitely gonna show you guys how that's gonna go. Anyway, we are gonna actually get some data as well, and we'll call it good on that. Alright, so let's get it. Alright, 920, let's go. Look how strong it is. I gotta say the recoil isn't nearly as bad here. Wow. Wow. It's like 923 actually. We'll go to 1125 because it took a while to get to that first pack there. Man, even though crafted bows were nerfed one season, I gotta say they're probably pretty strong now. Yeah, you can see just how insanely smooth Strafe is now. Without the desync, it's crazy, and with the damage buff, it's nuts. And obviously, you know, hitting 21k doesn't hurt. Kind of letting them hit me. Keep in mind, you don't have a lot of HP because you max out your dex on softcore, so all our testing is softcore testing. I do explain things you can do to make your builds tankier typically, but it's just a matter of getting tank stats and sacrificing some damage, so. I gotta say, the crossbow might actually still feel better though, interestingly enough. Interestingly enough, I should say. Interestingly. I think Strafe might be where crossbows still went out, but let's see. Yeah, I think the numbers actually bear that out pretty well there. Yeah, I think I was able to get, well, I think one problem with cows is that Demon Machine is just too good. So, yeah, we didn't get better numbers there than Demon Machine. Demon Machine with the multi-shot proc does cows so much better as a test map, so I guess we'll have to try one of the fortified maps then. Okay. Let's see if it can do better in a fortified map. But yeah, in general, it's really good. Oh yeah, I think I went straight into demos. I think I forgot to go over the Mercenary and the gear, actually. Shoot. Wow, I think I jumped the gun there. Okay, before we go into another one, we have some gear here. We have Drax, Faith, Templars. It's all about getting 2 auras on the Merc and keeping her alive, basically. And also getting Vigor Aura for movement speed. That's why we use Act 1. Movement speed's really big on Xana because you don't have a lot of other means of mobility. You don't have any blinks like other builds. Another thing that's really good is fast run want max damage or just max damage GCs. Max damage is best in slot on a Xana, so that's really good. And then Soul Drainers, Physical Pierce, Life Leech. This actually helps damage. Raven Frost gives you CBF with Dex as well and AR, which don't really need the AR, but yeah. You're gonna need the Pierce somewhere, and arguably it'd be really nice to get it from arrows, but I didn't roll any, so that could have helped with the amount of points I put into Pierce there. And then Ward Trav is really good, adding that extra damage. Definitely helps her minimum damage a lot, which is low on Wind Force. And then Fortitude, Veil of Steel, like I said, you could use a Giant Skull. Atma's, the amp is pretty huge as well, so it's particularly for doing the fort maps, which she tends to be a bit better at, which we've proven. She's actually better than that. We proved with previous testing. So, yeah. Anyway, let's see what we got here. Alright, 205 start, let's go to 405. And let's do some more demos. Obviously CT on swap as well. Yeah, it's with Loyalty Runeward, it's really smooth to get the FCR you need to cast decoys. And like, it's actually really good. This is a fortified map. I mean, you can just see how powerful Strafe is. It's kind of nuts. Decoy is pretty insane though. Oh, we gotta be careful. Amp in a fort map. Oh boy. Yeah, casting decoys with that hybrid approach on the loyalty bow, and then getting some amp procs at the Atmoscarab is really good. And it's so much smoother to get the decoys into position, and they're actually better this season. So that whole approach is better. So, but after this test, we might conclude that you still want to use crossbows on your hybrid builds anyway. So, I don't know, maybe. Wind Force is recovering faster because it is a faster weapon, but crossbows are a lot faster as of last season too. I think overall, Bozon has actually gotten 2 rounds of like really incredible buffs these last 2 seasons. So I think I might have made a multi-shot video last season. So but Strafe still felt like boo-boo. So this time we're gonna make a Strafe video. Alright, that should be sufficient there. It's 2 minutes 15 seconds though, so we'll keep that in mind. Yeah, I think what's interesting is yeah, I was able to get quite a bit higher numbers there with Barizza. So I'm gonna show you guys Barizza. And then yeah. So I'll show you the difference between this and Barizza. So I think what makes the big difference here is that Strafe really is a damage puncher, and the fact that we also get more negative physical res is actually pretty big. And the minimum damage being a lot higher on Barizza also matters, whereas the minimum damage on other bows isn't quite as high. So the damage is a bit higher, so we're actually going to... since it appears like I can't improve upon the numbers by doing the new bows that way, Strafe will still be used on here. However, I'll probably be doing a retest, not obviously doing one of these mini guides and demos, but just off-stream retest on multi-shot here in a second with the new Wind Force. That should get us some... that for sure should get us some better numbers. So that just means that crossbow is still good where it's good, and which is any kind of Strafe build, including hybrids, and Ebonbane and Wind Force might be better with the other hybrid builds. So it's pretty sick. Pretty sick. I'm a big fan. I'm a huge fan. I'm going to show you guys one more throne to show you guys the difference here. So, a lot of people are probably curious about this that are watching this video. You guys want, like, actual proof on YouTube, you know, in case you're not watching my streaming, my Mad Lad streams on Twitch, or you weren't watching them this season. This will give you a bit of, I think, a better idea of what's going on here. That's a problem, actually. I guess we can actually make that a bit better, though. I just have to get a certain kind of GC here real quick. Let's see, let's not be lazy here. Interesting. Alright. Oh wait, alright, where is it? It's max damage. Yeah, okay. Max damage charms are still good for a bunch of builds like Whirlwind and this build, but they're not quite as prominent as they are on like D2R, for instance. So actually, I'm only trying to make one. There we go. Yeah, we got plenty of movement speed. Let's be real here. Alright. So yeah. So if I do another 2-minute test, I think you guys will see what I mean. That was 2 minutes and 15 seconds too, so that would have actually been a worse division situation, so that wasn't very good. But you can see though with Bariza though. Alright, so let's go 3 minutes and 45 seconds. Everything just instantly dies at Bariza. And since it is faster, the crossbows since last season, crossbows definitely have a good advantage here. Oh well. Oh, let's not die. Yeah, this is a little sketchy for Fortified, at least this particular approach. You can see the strafe damage is wild though. Mercenary is gonna get wrecked there. Also, went from 99% to 146 projectile pierce. Yeah, see, on Bariza, I'd get max evade or whatever it is. The one that makes me evade more when standing still. That would help quite a bit here. Yeah, it's yeah, you can see the nasty damage though for Fortified. Just absolutely nasty. And it kills things off screen. You know, it's a off-screen killer. Off-screen killer. Anyway, ran a little bit over there, but let's see. Yeah, so as you can see, this approach is a little bit better. And we didn't go as much time as we did on the previous one, so no matter what, it is a better approach. No matter what. I think we were able to get like a slightly better test the previous time, but no matter what, it is a better approach, so of course, the average numbers from Pledgeathon in this one do end up averaging out to about this, so yeah, it's actually really close on the Strafe. It's close, but it's also not. Like, it looks like the crossbows still win. The minimum damage is kind of important, so is the pierce. But I don't know. Maybe a multi-shot, this already wins, so bows already win now with the changes this season. So you guys should rest assured knowing that. But anyway, chat, and everyone on YouTube, GG. See you guys the 16th and 13th and 14th for the live release of the updated tier list and infographic. And of course, let's smash it from the Mad Lad in the Mad Lab. See you guys in the next one. GG.